Welcome all to another episode of The Rumor Mill with me, Redbeard. What a interesting final days before the season starts. I'm excited. Are you guys? It's going to be crazy already with transfer drama left and right. So with that, let's get into it. All right. Let's get right into things. And man, like I said, what a crazy couple of days it's been. Remember, check out our social media platforms and a Redbubble account, our TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and our Facebook group. Make sure you guys do that. If you're liking these videos, guys, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It helps us a lot. So let's get into it with probably the biggest news of the entire transfer window. Tottenham Hotspur have finally accepted Bayern Munich's 100 plus million euros bid for striker Harry Kane. So much drama around this. It's the fourth bid from Bayern Munich. It's been positive talks around Kane's camp and Bayern representatives going all the way until today. Medical is scheduled. He is currently in Munich doing the medicals, and if passed, today will be Harry Kane Day in Munich. Sky Sports were reporting later yesterday that it's looking increasingly likely that he would stay at Spurs, but the transfer guru himself, Fabrizio Romano, confirmed that the deal is done. Kane to Munich, undergoing the medical. Hopefully, Kane and Bayern will make his debut against RB Leipzig tomorrow in the Super Cup against all odds. This one looking like it's finally done. What do you guys think? Are you happy that Harry Kane is finally out of Tottenham jail? Let us know down in the comments. Arsenal have signed David Raya from Brentford. We all thought this one was going to be a permanent transfer. Very surprising that Arsenal would go for two number one goalkeepers, but details coming out that is actually £3 million up front in a loan deal. David Raya extends his contract. He only had 12 months left on his deal. Arsenal have a £27 million clause to make the deal permanent if he plays a certain number of games. So great deal for Arsenal. They get a keeper that could be number one. They need competition for Ramsdale and no obligation to buy. So if it doesn't work out, they have time to scout and look for another backup goalkeeper if needed. Also, great deal for Brentford. They either get the 30 million they wanted, or they keep his transfer value for David Raya if he doesn't stay at Arsenal. Speaking of which, Nottingham Forest have signed Matt Turner for a reported 7 million plus add-ons. Looking to be a good transfer for Nottingham Forest. See how tomorrow morning he lines up against the Gunners or not. They are also said to be interested in signing Leicester City legend Kasper Schmeichel or Dean Henderson from Manchester United as a backup and competition for Turner. Keeping with Arsenal, Monaco and Inter Milan are going to battle it out for Arsenal striker Florian Balogun, with Monaco preparing a big offer for the U.S. striker per Fabrizio Romano. 442 reporting Arsenal are considering a swap deal. That's big news for either Balogun or Tomiyasu, or both of them for Nicolo Barella. Now, I think that would be a fantastic deal for the Gunners. Not sure if that would be a great deal for Inter Milan, but they're saying they're not going to pay the amount that Arsenal want for Florian Balogun. Continuing in the Premier League, with Brighton agreeing a fee for Ajax's Mohamed Kudus, Chelsea and Arsenal are looking to hijack the deal in the late stages, looking more and more likely that it would only be the Gunners for that one. We'll see how that plays out. Brighton still talking to Kudus' camp, trying to get him over the line. But the longer it goes out, longer it pans out, more likely it is that it could be hijacked, because this is the transfer window of transfer hijacks, and we'll see a little bit later. Burnley have signed Sheffield United midfielder Sander Berge. Honestly, Sheffield United, I don't know what they're doing. They've sold their best striker. Now they sell their best midfielder to a relegation rival, essentially. Great deal for Burnley. Terrible deal for Sheffield United. Al Hilal are planning a double swoop of PSG forward Neymar and midfielder Marco Verratti, reports L'Equipe. Neymar has recently been linked with an exit from the Parc des Princes after informing his representatives a desire to leave this summer. Talks have already taken place over a potential move for Verratti, with reports saying that Al Hilal will offer $45 million for his signature. Chelsea are also said to be in talks for Neymar's services, with PSG open to a loan with an obligation to buy for 60 million euros. Brentford, after loaning David Raya to the Gunners, have made an offer worth 30 million euros to sign promising Fiorentina winger Nico Gonzalez, reveals The Athletic. Gonzalez is 21, contributed 19 goals and 42 appearances last season, was on the radar of Leicester City, reported to be a key name on their shortlist. But Thomas Frank and the Bees are keen to add him to their roster and reinforce it before the Premier League season starts. Other names on their list include Nottingham Forest star Brennan Johnson, which I think is fascinating because not only could he replace Ivan Toney, but he would be a great complement to him as well. Let's see how that pans out through the rest of the window, with only about 2.5 weeks left. Man United have set a domino effect with selling Harry Maguire to West Ham United for £30 million. They are keen to replace him as quickly as possible with Nice defender Jean-Claire Todibo, Benjamin Pavard from Bayern Munich, and Bayer Leverkusen's Edmund Tapsoba, all lining up to be on their list. Todibo is said to be their number one target. He's 23 years old, plays for Toulouse, or left Toulouse to play for Barcelona in 2019, never managed to break through, spent time on loan at Schalke, Benfica, and is now at Nice. Signed him permanently just a couple of years ago for $8.5 million. It's taken off since then. Would be a great replacement for Maguire. And yeah, Maguire starting a new chapter. I think it's what everybody knew he needed. Starting that new chapter at West Ham. I think it's a great move for him and a great move for the Hammers. Fenerbahce are interested in signing Arsenal midfielder Jorginho, reports The Times. He's 31, cost Arsenal £12 million from Chelsea in January. He's got a year left on his contract. I think if they come to Arsenal with anything more than £12 million, they'll get their man. However, Jorginho's agent has said that he does not want to leave the Gunners. He wants to stay and win trophies. Sticking with the Gunners, Real Sociedad are in talks with Arsenal over signing left-back Kieran Tierney, claims Football Scotland. Tierney's dropped down the pecking order at the Emirates, especially with the arrival of Jurriën Timber. Zinchenko already owns that spot. Timber looking like the second best defender in Arsenal's lineup. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'm very interested to see if that is somewhere that he wants to go, especially being linked to Newcastle, staying in England. But just like Newcastle, the La Liga club can offer Champions League football. They're looking to sign him for about 25 million euros, which I think is a bit low, with Newcastle being linked for about 30 million pounds. West Ham, after not signing anyone this entire window, have now signed 3 players in a week. First with Edison Alvarez, Harry Maguire as the next one. And the final deal coming in before the start of the season is Southampton legend midfielder James Ward-Prowse. They've got him and Alvarez to replace Declan Rice. Some great signings for West Ham. Let's see if they can improve on their form in the Europa Conference League last season. Now, sticking with West Ham, Manchester City are interested in signing West Ham midfielder Lucas Paqueta. They've submitted a £70 million offer for him, and it's been rejected. It's been reported West Ham won't accept anything less than £85 million for him. I think that's a bit high, personally. Do any of you rate Lucas Paqueta among the best midfielders in the world? I'm not so sure about that. And even the best midfielders would cost around the same price. Manchester City are also reportedly interested in Brighton's Kiro Matuma to add depth on the wing and replace Riyad Mahrez. And with Bernardo Silva reportedly giving Barcelona one more week to try and wrap up the deal with Manchester City for his services, even though Manchester City tabled a new contract offer earlier this week, they might need both of them, to be honest. Replace Bernardo Silva with Paqueta and replace Riyad Mahrez with Matoma. Now, according to Forbes, Ilkay Gundogan could leave Barcelona even before playing a game. He reportedly has a clause in his contract that would allow him to leave Barcelona even if he isn't registered by August 13th. That is coming up very fast. Now, it is said that Barcelona have a 120 million landfall to allow them to register more players, maybe even buy one. Bernardo Silva, possibly. We'll see. All right, back to the Premier League. Chelsea's Lewis Hall has joined Crystal Palace on a season-long loan deal. Looks like they might be getting ready for one Michael Elise to leave. We will see. Ross Barkley. Remember him? Yeah. He has joined Luton Town on a free transfer from Nice after leaving in June. It's been exactly 10 years to the day since he left Everton. Since he made his debut for Everton. Interesting signing for them. Adds a bit of experience, though, for a team that doesn't have any Premier League experience. Now, Arsenal, they're reportedly going back in for Douglas Luiz after a failed move at the end of last summer's transfer window, but they will face competition from their North London rivals Tottenham for his services, according to Football Insider. It said he prefers a move to the Gunners, and honestly, it makes no sense why he wouldn't prefer a move to the Gunners, since Arsenal are on the ascendancy, and Tottenham, especially having sold Harry Kane, look to be on their way to mid-table mediocrity. Fenerbahce have submitted an official bid of $15 million for Manchester United midfielder Fred. Both teams pushing for a solution for the deal. United wanting to get Fred off their books, according to Fabrizio Romano. And honestly, Fred not having a place in the team this season, it just makes sense. With Aston Villa now, Emi Buendia suffering a ACL tear in training earlier this week. Aston Villa will look to sign Nicolo Zaniolo of Galatasaray to replace him. Aston Villa's transfer chief Monchi signed Zaniolo for Roma when he was just a teenager, and will look to bring him back or bring him to Villa Park and be reunited with Monchi. So that would be quite a signing. I don't know if Aston Villa will be able to provide a financial package big enough for Zaniolo after a big move to Galatasaray, but we'll see. Burnley have reached a verbal agreement for Aston Villa youngster Jacob Ramsey, around $14 million plus add-ons. That would be another transfer coup for Burnley. Jacob Ramsey at the end of last season tearing it up, being a almost guaranteed starter for the villains. And honestly, I don't know why they would let him go. Maybe because they need a little bit of extra money for Zaniolo. I don't know. Sporting have rejected a 30 million euro offer from Bayer Leverkusen for winger Pedro Goncalves, record reports. Sporting insisting that he will only leave if his 80 million euro release clause is met. Now, that's pretty high for a guy who kind of just broke onto the scene last season with his performances against Arsenal in the Europa League. We'll see if Bayer Leverkusen want to even get near that, and I don't think that they can afford that number. Bayern Munich, with all their transfer drama, have now set their sights on Chelsea goalkeeper Kepa to act as an understudy to Manuel Neuer. They're looking to get this one on a loan with an option to buy later on, but with Chelsea only really having two goalies, just signing Robert Sanchez, I don't think this one makes any sense. Napoli want to sign Brighton teenager Julio Enciso, says the Daily Telegraph. And Enciso, one of the bright and shining stars of the Premier League, only 19, has really caught an eye from top clubs with his performances. I think Brighton really want to keep a hold of him, especially after losing Caicedo. I don't see this one happening. However, we've seen stranger things in the Premier League. Now moving to Madrid, with the injury to Thibaut Courtois at Real Madrid, they're looking for a new goalie. Their list is said to include David De Gea, who currently is without a club, Bonu, who plays for Sevilla, Kepa, who Bayern Munich are also looking at, and a sensational return for Keylor Navas. Honestly, I would love to see Keylor Navas get another chance at a starting spot for Real Madrid. I feel like no matter where he goes, he is one of the most underrated, underappreciated goalies of all time. What do you guys think? Would it be a good choice for him to have a sensational return to the Bernabeu? Or does somebody else make a little more sense? David De Gea, he's free, but he's going to want a ton for wages. Now, Tottenham Hotspur. They've sold Harry Kane. They need a striker. Apparently, their top target is Romelu Lukaku. Yeah, let that sink in. Romelu Lukaku, what a downgrade from Harry Kane. Yes, he does fill a void, but man, he is nowhere near the quality of Harry Kane. Their other targets reportedly are Alexander Mitrovic, Jonathan David, and Randall Colomwani. Now, Colomwani fits that bill perfectly. He provides assists, he's a playmaker, and he scores goals. So, might not be the quality of Kane, but he's younger and provides the same attributes. Not quite the output yet. And finally, we are going to get into the craziest transfer saga I maybe have ever seen. So, we'll start last night. Brighton telling Chelsea and Liverpool that they are going to put a deadline of midnight Thursday evening as a deadline for them to sign Moises Caicedo. Whoever's the highest bidder will get his services. And then news comes out, Liverpool broke the English transfer record to sign Moises Caicedo. It was a package of £110 million. Chelsea only bid $100 million. Medical was planned for today. Funny that Liverpool would bid $100 million plus for him, but pass on Jude Bellingham. It just doesn't make any sense. Jude Bellingham is much better midfielder and younger, not to forget that. And then Moises Caicedo informed Liverpool that he only wanted to join Chelsea. So not only did they break the English transfer record for him, but he rejected Liverpool, one of the biggest clubs in the world. Chelsea are said to have come in with an improved offer, said to be around the same as Liverpool's bid. Medical is scheduled for today. Chelsea, hoping to have him in the squad for Liverpool game on Sunday. And what a turn of events it would be to see Moises Caicedo join Chelsea finally but having had rejected Liverpool and then played Liverpool in his first game of the season. Many twists and turns. Speaking of the two clubs, because of that, Liverpool are said to be preparing a fourth offer for Southampton midfielder Romeo Lavia, which they had a bid of 45 million rejected on Monday. Chelsea saw theirs of 48 million rejected on Thursday. It looks like he's bound to Liverpool since, Chelsea just spent their entire transfer budget on Moises Caicedo. And with all of that happening, it looked set that Tyler Adams would move to Chelsea after they activated his release clause. It was only 20 million, and it looks like it's not going to go through because of Chelsea's bid for Caicedo, which means they only get one player instead of two. Lavia and Adams were their second option, and with it taking almost 3 months for them to get Caicedo across the line, they finally have their man. Liverpool looking like they could add Lavia, and Brighton now looking to replace Moises Caicedo with Tyler Adams. So what do you guys think? Crazy transfer drama. Fabrizio Romano being up until 3:30 Italian time just to report on this stuff. It has given me a sleepless night. I don't know about you guys. Harry Kane joining Bayern Munich finally. Will he win a trophy? Does it make them Champions League favorites? Let me know down in the comments. Till then, happy kickoff to the new Premier League season, my friends. Got my special mug because Harry Kane left Tottenham for Bayern Munich, meaning Arsenal will definitely have St. Totteringham's Day this year. Hopefully with a trophy and a title for both Arsenal and Harry Kane. So, till next time, guys, make sure you're liking this video, subscribing to the channel, hit that notification bell, check out our TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube accounts. Make sure to check out our merch on Redbubble. We got some pretty cool stuff, new stuff coming out all the time. It really helps us out. Till next time, cheers.